Well, Jordan's apartment didn't catch on fire. A lot of her belongings might be a little smoky, but sadly, her front door did not survive. From the Candlewood Suites, this is Jordan's dad and the 1 hour, one brain cell podcast.
Is it my turn to host this week? I don't remember. Probably.
I have no idea. Time isn't real, and we have a special guest, so we're gonna do whatever we
Cool.
want this episode.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
host.
yeah. I can do it. I can do it since you're going with the mic from 2003.
These are wired headphones. I'll have you know.
Kamala Harris style. That was a terrific intro from Jordan's dad there. That was honestly, we were talking about it just before, maybe the best intro this show has had, I think, in a year, possibly. Ours are usually never that good.
I know. I'm one of your biggest fans. I know every cold open. That's top three. I'm sure of it.
We need to hire you as
Yeah,
a
he was
writer
built
on
for
this
this
show.
moment.
Hey, oh, you know what? Your dad can be the podcast version of Ava Daniels, and that's what we need. Huh?
That's true. Everybody needs a good writer.
I'm only four awards short of an EGOT, so I'm ready.
Well, I hear this year's category for regional Mexican music album, including Tejano, is pretty weak. So
Tejano's week this year. I'm gonna go for it.
Casey Musgraves is working on a Tejano deal. I sent that to Jordan today.
it's crazy. You said that to me earlier. Yeah.
All right, what do we got in the document today? What do we got? Jordan and I were conversing inside the document today, which is really funny.
Yeah. Love chatting through Google Docs in the ether.
We'll get to that in a little bit, but we should probably begin with the story of the week and why you're doing the show from a undisclosed location this week. So let you tell this story in as much or little detail as you'd like as to why you're on location this week, and not from the normal
Off
podcast alcove.
location. Yeah. Very off location. So I think the way that I phrased it in the document was, my apartment building got the crisp featuring my dad. And I feel like that's the easiest way to describe it. I was out of town for an old teammate's wedding, and I got a text message. It was after the ceremony had happened, thank goodness, but we were all like milling about, and it was like cocktail hour. And I get a text from one of my coworkers, and it's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "In what context? Like, just because I'm not here this weekend? Like, I know it's weird that I'm not working, and like, I didn't tell anyone I was leaving town, so maybe that's what it is." And she texts me back and goes, "No, I saw on Facebook that like your apartment complex has a fire." And I was like, "Oh, well, I hope it's not me. Like, I'm not home." Just sort of like in a very loose, like, joke. Like, I'm trying not to stress out about this. And then 20 minutes later, I get a text from my upstairs neighbor, and it is indeed my building that is on fire, which is a very startling thing to find out when you're 1,400 miles away and you can't do anything about it. And we didn't really know, we still don't really know full specifics about what happened and how it started and how big it really got. But it took out 2 units at least in my building. But on the far end from me, thankfully. So it started on the left side and moved left to right. And my neighbor got a really scary wake up call. It was like 8 p.m. Thank goodness. So like everybody got out fine. That nobody was hurt. But it's very scary when someone from the building across the parking lot from you comes running over, banging on your door, like, "You need to get out. There's a fire right now." And so we're still finding out details, but yeah, there was smoke, there was stuff, and we didn't know what we were going to be coming back to, which is the whole reason I have my guest star here this week. Is he very bravely volunteered to come out with me last minute, just in case there was major disaster, and like we had to move stuff from the apartment or find a new place to live or whatever. We didn't know what we were walking into. So
Yeah. Yeah. We had a couple of pictures. One is about 7 fire trucks, including one of the ladder trucks right in front of her window. And then there's just the silhouette of a black door of her apartment, which has been kicked in by the fire department, who were, checking to make sure that no one was home or pets weren't trapped. So what we knew was there'd been a fire. They extinguished the fire. She had no front door, and she was getting on a flight in a few hours. So I got up in the morning. I said, would it stress you out if I came with you just in case? And that's how I got here. That's my story. So we've been just working the problem since then, and that's why we're here at Extended Stay Candlestick Suites. Wood, sweet,
wait, whatever,
rose.
same
Right,
thing. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you
So,
when you text
that's
yeah,
it.
when you texted me over the weekend, I was like stressing out for you. I was like
Yeah,
I was
I
like
think that's like the funniest part about the situation is like there was a weird at peace that was occurring with me because there's nothing I could have done about it. I can't unfire the fire. I'm like,
I'm
whatever's
fired
happened
of
has
fire.
already happened. I'm 1,400 miles away from home. I can't do anything. Like, I could get home and there could be nothing to come back to. We didn't know if there would just be like plywood over my door, or if the whole thing would be like chained shut, like building condemned, do not enter. We didn't know. And so it was like I was dealing with all this while I was at my teammate's wedding, and it was happening sort of in stages. And like 2 hours, I think, after I got that message from my neighbor, I got a call from management that was like, I don't know if you heard, but here's what's happening. And they were like, do you need us to like help you contact the Red Cross to like find a place to stay? I'm like, oh, that's a thing I hadn't considered. Just because, again, we were really blind. But I was telling some of the other people in attendance that were like old teammates of mine, and they were like, "What dose of antidepressant are you on? Because it's working really well with how calm you are about this whole thing right now."
Crazy.
I'm like, I'm ADHD unmedicated. Probably that's the answer to your question. Is there's nothing I can do right now, and you're playing Pitbull on the dance floor, and I just kind of want to be involved, like, you know.
The question
So
is,
yeah.
joked after the show last week. Did you get the DJ to play Slater? That's the important part.
I did not. He had a
Damn it.
pre-made playlist, but I tell you, it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good, and I don't think at any point in the night he was really accepting requests. It felt like it was almost pre-mixed, so it wasn't just like shuffled. It was pre-mixed, and there
He
was
just
there was some
he
good
just
stuff happening, but
he
it was
just he's just like us when we make our Be Gone playlist and we just hit shuffle and
great.
say
It's
good
just
luck.
Spotify DJ. You're like, well, good luck. I hope these blend together well.
I can
But
do
no,
that
some
at
of
a
it was
wedding.
good.
I should be a wedding DJ. I can do that.
We've said we would be good at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to have an extensive knowledge of music, which you have. You have to have a little bit of personality, which you have. So I don't think there's anything holding you back other than ambition, probably.
We just have here's the thing. Jordan and I did that. We'd have to do it like full on like so we've said this before, like Daft Punk style. And we'd be
Hmm.
like we would not be known. We'd be like
You
the
do secret
mysterious.
identity.
Yeah, it'd be like the mysterious wedding DJs, and we wouldn't
Yeah.
speak, and it would be and like if whoever the bride is that's trying to contact us, we have like a PR person that they must contact,
Hmm.
but we do not
Business
directly speak.
contact.
We do
Yeah.
not directly speak to the clients.
No one wants that. No one wants that. That's not a thing.
I feel like we could get away with it.
No,
You need good word of mouth. Yeah.
can't be dead mouse without talent. That doesn't exist.
You're telling us that we don't have talent. We haven't
A
tried.
little, and
We could get some talent. We
I
could get a DJ
acknowledge.
deck and just cook it.
This
I
ain't
think
happening.
I think we were crushed. Side note: there's a great joke in the movie The Drama, about the wedding DJs. That's really funny. That's actually one of the few things about that movie I liked, is the 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 wedding DJ joke in that movie. But anyway, if y'all see it, you can figure that out. But what the hell? What were we talking about again? Here we go. See, here we go again. Just doing this. Talking about
As
one
usual.
thing.
The playlist,
No.
the
Well,
wedding.
we weren't. I don't really have any more about the fire. We had a door. We had a new door back the day that we arrived. Our maintenance person, Joe, shout out Joe, he put a new door on at like, what did he say, like 1 in the morning.
He went to Lowe's and bought doors and frames for all the apartments who got their door kicked in and secured their apartments before he went home that night. So
Holy
yeah, he said
cow.
he was putting in doors till 3 a.m. so that, you know, the tenants would have their units secured.
Get
So
that man a gift.
huge shout out to the fire
Groceries.
department who must have put that fire out in like 11 seconds after arriving. And then Joe, who went to Lowe's with his truck and took care of it. Like,
Yeah.
these are people you want to be friends with.
You did send me a picture yesterday, which I thought was hilarious,
Was this the one of me with my kicked in door?
of the kicked in door. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really realize we were gonna see the door there. We were being a little nosy about trying to walk down toward where things had started and see what was going on and see how bad the damage was on the far side. And we went over by the dumpster, and there were all of the doors that had been kicked in over by the dumpster, and mine just happened to be on the outside. Where I was like, get a picture of me with the door, like just stupid, but like in the aftermath of being really relieved that we came home and everything was, as it was,
Yeah.
and it maybe was mildly campfirey in there, but nothing else. Like we were just doing stupid stuff at that point. That was like, where are we going for dinner? Like we're splashing out, we're celebrating. Get a picture of me with the door.
Yeah, I'm walking around, dad walking around looking for contractors to talk to ask, questions about what happened. That's when we run into Joe. That's when we find the door because I'm rooting around by the dumpster. Yeah, it's dad stuff. That's what we do.
He's like looking to see if the breakers are on, like the
Yeah, I check
electrical
the
meter.
breakers. I'm like, I could get the power back on in 11 seconds again.
incredible.
I'm like, just throw the breaker. We can put the power back on.
Like we're not doing that.
I agreed. I didn't touch, but I did find the breakers. Yeah.
He's like peeking through bushes. He's like, your electricity's on. I'm like, stop.
Have the Duke
That's
meter
so-
number. We can call right now.
That's so
Yeah.
funny. How
But
many?
yes, shout out the fire department because I think we were looking it up. They got there
Engine one,
in
baby.
they got there in like 4 minutes from whenever they got called, and they just
Yeah.
had that thing handled. So
Damn, that's impressive. Good for them. Good for them. Nobody hurt as far as we know, right? Everybody.
no, yeah,
Just
everybody got
property
out. There was 2 units that were, I think, total loss, but then maybe the 2 directly next to it had some damage.
Pretty bad. I think it's pretty bad. And then there's
and
yours.
then-
Like it's goes from total destruction to probably terrible to campfire. It's a little smoky.
Yeah.
So
That's crazy.
we were that close.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a scary amount of being close to it and just not knowing anything. I think was the worst part. We were sitting on the plane like browsing real estate. He's like, you know what the Deborah Vance thing to do here would be is like she would have this happen and be like, well, it's probably a good time to get into real estate.
Let's buy a house. We're on Zillow, and the Wi-Fi in Southwest wasn't cooperating, but we found a number of units, and we're prepared to pre-qualify if that was easier than cleaning up the mess. We're like, maybe we'll just start fresh and never go back. We'll just buy something. I'm your dad. I can do it from the Southwest Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I
Got to
know how
make sure
do
you
this.
got to make sure you got a pool in there. Got to make sure
He
you.
really wanted this
I
one
found
house
one
that
with
had
the
a pool.
It would have been epic. every party would have been at your backyard, but shut that down. So
We only shut it down once we saw that the inside looked like Grandma's house.
it was a little, but the pool was cool, and the curb appeal was amazing.
And
It was.
and you
It's
had to-
really
look great.
it's really nice from the street. Yeah.
and you needed a 1987 and 1992 guest bedroom.
Exactly, for all of our best moments and influential world leaders that we've met.
So yeah, we were somewhere between everything is fried and we're just going to start new and buy something or rent something to, we're probably going to have to get some cleaning done in here. So yeah,
How many air fresheners did you buy? Did you go to Lowe's and bought like
One very large air purifier. And we went to Target twice in 45 minutes to procure this item because we have the same shared brain cell that you and I have, which is that we're just two idiots telling each other exactly like at all times. And so we went through this whole process. We went to Target and we're looking around, we're messing around in the air purifier aisle, and there's a Target associate that walks by, and you know how like when you go to a store like that, usually the worker will just ask you, do you need help finding anything? Are you finding everything okay? This person walked up and was like, do you have any questions about air purifiers? We're like,
strangely specific, Ethan. Yes.
yeah,
we
we're
do.
like, actually, you might know some things. So yeah,
You could tell by this kid's look and his voice and the specific question he asked. He's going to know some things. So we called him over.
yeah, and he did. He had some knowledge. He has like a handful of them in his house, and was just telling us like the biggest thing you should do is match your square footage. Like you may think you can get away with a smaller one, but it's going to take twice as long to clear out the
I
house.
don't think we needed him for that. That was the least helpful thing he told us.
Well, but he did tell us we could buy generic air filters
that
to
was
replace.
the most helpful thing he told us. There you go.
So we got some good intel on that. But then we were looking at all the things on the shelf, and we saw this one we kind of liked. We're like, that's too expensive. It's $229. But we're kind of looking at it. We're like, I don't know if that's the right one. You're like, I don't know if it's the right one, and it's like in the wrong spot. And we're kind of looking at everything, and we're like, I don't know. That's not the right one. So we're like, we'll stop laughing at me. We're like, we'll just go. We'll see if we're like, they have it on the Best Buy website. We'll just go to Best Buy and see if. And just see if don't touch your headphones.
Why is
It's
it
making it
making
go
noises?
off. Oh my god! Because you're auto playing
Is
the
this about Scientology again?
No, we were watching Scientology speedruns. Okay. Anyway, we could put that on the document if we need to fill time. Don't touch your headphone because it'll autoplay videos. And we're like, that's in the wrong spot, and we're gonna go to Best Buy and we're gonna look and see what they have. And then they didn't have what we thought they did at Best Buy. And then we went back on the phone and we're like, well, it says that Target has this one, but we were just at Target. So we're like, do you want to go back to Target? And so we went back across the street for a second Target run in which they did actually have the item we were looking for, and it was wrong, and we price scanned it, and it was
You
right.
should buy some air fresheners. That was good advice. You skimmed over the best news, that's a solid suggestion.
Yeah.
We're purifying. We could easily be masking the scent with lemon freshness.
We could do pina colada, maybe.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you get those. Like I need to buy some for my apartment too, probably.
The
but
black
it's-
ice, the little trees.
Need the ones you can plug in, the Glade ones. Plug it in, plug
Glade
it in,
plug-ins.
and you plug
This
those
is-
in. Yeah,
He should work at Target. This guy.
That's
has
actually
stuff.
kind of smart. Yeah.
I did.
Do you have
back
any
in
questions
the day.
about Glade plugins?
I have. That's the title of the episode.
Sure,
I,
man. Why not?
I did work at Target for like 6 months back in like 20.
This checks out. Yep.
When was that? Was I in college? I think it was. Yeah, it was like 2010 or something. 2011. I worked there for like. Actually, no, it was less than 6 months. It was like 3 months. Yeah, it was 3
What
months.
happened?
Probation.
No, you know what? I was like a seasonal hire at the time, and they just never. They didn't. Were like they just let me go. They never told me. They never put me on the schedule back again. It was like, all right, guess I'm never coming back. See you later.
That's crazy.
This is pre-drug testing. There's no reason to not get called back from Target.
from working at
Target
Target.
in 2011, they needed you.
$4
here's
and
the thing.
11 cents minimum wage,
Yeah.
and they didn't call him back.
And I will tell you this too, that like I was the one, like Jordan, like I always show up. I'm not the one to like call out or like not show up or be lazy. Like I was there all the time. I shipped every single shift, and then I just, for whatever reason, I just wasn't allowed back. Like, see you later.
Well,
That was actually
we
fun
scored.
fact. Yeah, fun fact. I had 2 jobs during college, and then that was one of them, and the other one was working for Pac-12 Network, and that was it.
What was the other one?
Pac-12 Network. Yeah,
Pac-12 Network. Wow. Okay.
back in the day. Yeah, that's a throwback. They don't even exist
Keep
anymore.
that on your resume. Yeah. The other one, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to list your
Not-
3 months at Target.
Didn't complete probationary period. Target associate.
Never finished
1987,
new employee orientation.
Right. Right.
That's
Okay.
too funny.
This isn't a roast. This shouldn't be a Richie roast.
It could be, but yeah, we like to
That's
keep
fine.
things light around here.
It's
The,
fine.
the only
That's-
roasting that occurred was my apartment building.
That's all this show is. It's pretty much it's just a roast. I brought some snacks on this episode as well. I brought more cookies.
You have
with
more
me.
of those?
Oh, those are
No,
the
these are
cookies.
different. These are different. No, these are
What
peanut
are
butter
those?
cookies.
Oh.
These are peanut butter.
We don't like when you eat on the show.
Who's we? I think that's my mom mostly.
Oh,
Jordan's
because
mom and I. We don't want to have too much like
ASMR, Richie ingests an entire box of cookies.
or just do it fast and get it over with. Either way, it's fine.
We can timestamp it with like a little trigger warning for people that might have like misophonia.
That could be us.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't do the entire hour of taste testing different things.
Yeah, we might shelve that. I still am mourning. Do you remember our lost episode when I did Chubby Bunny Challenge and no one will ever get that footage because
Yeah.
that episode got deleted?
Yeah. Yes.
I still think that was one of the funniest stupid things we've ever done, and we've never tried to repeat it. But I think that would have driven my mom crazy. She might have never listened to us again.
Recreate that for the 100th. That could be part of the the big 100th gala episode.
Yeah, we'll see. That's TBD, by the
Hey,
way,
we
for
got-
people listening, because I am not allowed to be living in my apartment right now. But we'll see.
But
We'll
the
do it
boys
eventually.
downstairs, I think I saw an extension cord through their window. I think they're like legally squatting in their condemned apartment.
Yeah, per the city, it is not good for occupancy at the moment, but no one's really stopping us from going inside.
Right.
So,
It's more of a suggestion. Yeah.
yeah. So we'll find out. But
Hey, as long as the Red Bulls are cold, that's all that matters, you know?
the whole fridge is gone, man. The fridge is gone
Oh, yeah,
because
tossed
we
the
lost
fridge.
power.
We tossed the fridge today. Dijon mustard, gone. Tartar sauce, no more.
Nope. All the mayonnaise, the yogurt, anything that's mildly a dairy product had to go.
Yeah.
Your Celsius that was still here from Vatican, that
Yeah.
got drank at March Madness Music Festival. I
was
gave it to
also
this guy. It was
terrible. I was so desperate. We'd been in line for like 4 days and we couldn't
that
pee.
one.
And then she had this Celsius and it was warm and I drank it.
Oh.
Ugh, it was the best warm Celsius that day.
Yeah, I know
So
about
gone.
that.
All that's gone.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
so send Red Bull to P.O. Box number 37, undisclosed address, Bloomington, Indiana.
Candlewick Sweets.
Just you send it with carrier pigeon. They'll know where to put it.
Close enough. Close enough. All right. Well, I'm glad everything worked out well because I was like panicking for you while we were texting about this. So when you texted me that everything was fine, that's good. We can deal with a little smokiness. That's not bad. You know, a little smokiness can go away eventually. Open the windows, we'll be good. Although you know what it is? It reminds me of the meme where it's like anytime you have like a collectible item, that somebody wants. He's like, well, make sure your windows are open at 3 a.m.
Yeah, it's like you should leave this next to your open window. I hear that makes it safer. It'll be like an autographed Taylor Swift CD, and they're like, by any chance, do you sleep with your window open?
Right. The best thing you could do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Needs fresh air.
as long as the JB set list made it out, we're good.
Yeah, the baby did survive.
Your plants are
My plants are unhappy.
they weren't going to survive, and now you can blame it on the fire.
Yeah, they got a little smoke damage maybe. They're not very happy. They didn't have clean air. They didn't really
Yeah.
have their light on because the power went out. They're not real happy. But all the records are good. The set list made it. Everything I got is good. My bedding is maybe a little campfirey, but that's what renter's insurance is for, and we're gonna figure it out.
What's our next segment? Am I staying around for another segment?
No, real quick. Yeah,
We have at least one more segment for you.
Yeah, we got one more. I'm also glad that because I texted you this too. Several years ago, when Kat and I were still living together, our downstairs neighbor, like accidentally set off. Like I think she was cooking, and she accidentally set off not only the alarms, but the water deal went off too.
The
Like,
sprinklers?
Fire
the sprinklers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sprinklers went off too, and so like the entire place was flooded for like we had to we evacuate just in case until we got the all clear and everything. But yeah, like there was like a river of water going down the stairs of our apartment building, and so I was worried about that too. But luckily that didn't. We're good. Everything isn't clear.
Oh, same.
Yeah, that was a worry, but it was a secondary worry because I feel like you're never really thinking about that particularly. You're wondering if things got burnt, but you're never thinking about what happens if all that dirty water comes out of the sprinklers onto all your stuff. You're like, I don't know if that would be good either.
Nothing clears out Jordan's clutter like a good fire.
Yeah, my fridge is so clean right now. Like I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. I'm not allowed to be a sauce household anymore. I don't have any sauces.
That is the one thing I have over you is that my fridge is immaculate. That shit is like on fleek, as the kids would say. There's
You
nothing
have to
in
show
there.
these pictures to a insurance adjuster. They're going to be like, "Oh my God, what happened?"
Yeah, it's like, dog,
Sauces everywhere.
my mayonnaise expired, dog. But they're like, you have too many sauces.
Pay for expired mayonnaise, girl.
I'm not.
There's no reimbursement for that.
No, but they don't need to know that it was expired before the fire happened. What they don't know will not hurt them more than about $6.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Yeah.
All right, good. Let's move on. What do we have next?
All right. Jordan teased me about this earlier. She has a segment idea that you do not know about. That's not in the rundown. So, Jordan, take it away.
Yeah, I was planning to potentially have a guest star. Because the last time we did a guest star, Mom told me I had like 5 minutes and like started her watch. So I was like,
She has
I
rules.
was like, I think I can hold you hostage a little longer. So I put on my Instagram story today and I asked people, I said, we're having a guest host on the podcast, send in questions for my dad. So we did get some questions and I'm going to ask them to you now and you can answer, or there's a couple where you could throw it to the floor for guest discussion. But we will start with question from my cousin Tyler. Is Eddie Van Halen the best guitarist ever? Open for discussion if no. Or yes, open for discussion.
My nephew,
Yeah.
Tyler, your
Yeah.
cousin.
Yeah, Tyler.
This is an easy one. Yes. Unless perhaps Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, or Eric Clapton could be arguably your generation should say that it's Wolfgang
Prince?
Van Halen.
Prince? No Prince?
Prince's top 5. Prince goes. You're right. Let's open this up for discussion. I totally agree with Richie. Prince. Prince is fabulous.
Yeah, I agree with your list.
Tyler.
Well, I opened it for questions. These are just the people that responded. So,
Thanks, Ty.
yep, that was Tyler's question. And related vein from Aunt Kelly, is Van Halen still cool among
This is
among
what
the
everyone wants to ask me about. They must know only the 1985 version of me, but okay. Like, no,
There's
not
there's
really.
different
No.
questions.
I'm not so sure that's a yes. So the first one, yes. The second one, no.
I'll go with unsure. I'll
Oh,
go with
wait,
maybe.
hold on.
I feel like
Wait, hold on. Time out. Can I go back to the last question? We missed.
Yes.
We missed 1A. We missed Julian Baker.
we did miss a guitar prodigy, Julian Baker.
$20 is a great guitarist.
$20 is a great song.
Okay. I love the song. I'm just saying I don't know her as being
Just all
Jimmy
you gotta do,
Page.
just watch Salt in the Wound, Salt in the Salt in the
That's true,
Wound,
that's
the
true.
Salt in the Wound live, and that guitar solo is like life changing. Like
I will listen to
there
it and
you go.
get back to you with my vote. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll include
I've listened
that.
to it, but I need to
okay,
now evaluate it. Yeah.
We'll include that in his homework. So, is
alright,
Van
we can
Halen still cool? Jury's out. I would say
David Lee Roth, no. Sammy Hagar, yes. That version, cool. David Lee Roth version, I'd say no.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll settle on maybe.
You get a vote. Richie?
No, they're not. No,
No.
they're cool, but like back
Bummer.
in the
He's right.
80s, like they're not. They're
Okay, fair enough.
my.
Okay, this one is
Real quick. Speed Freaks. Kenny from Speed Freaks has a lot of Van Halen stories because he worked as a rock DJ back in the 80s and talked to a lot of musicians back in the 80s and 90s working in LA
The Kenny,
and
like
whatnot.
Crashing
So he's got a
Kenny,
lot
that
of Van
Kenny?
Halen
Yeah.
stories. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. He's cool.
All right, we can continue. Yeah.
yeah. We like to cross post on our show here.
He's cool.
Yeah. Okay. Related. This one's open for floor discussion from our athletic training student Margot. Favorite concert memory for you or advice for first time concert goers?
Oh, well, generally speaking, first concerts are some of the best. So early memories are hard to overcome. Close second would be front row or so close you scare the band experiences, followed by any event where you have a bunch of your friends and you're in a pack watching the Labor Day blowout with to the Scorpions and Aerosmith in a at Compton Terrace or something crazy. So first concerts like mine, REO Speedwagon 1981, Ryman Auditorium or Nashville, Tennessee, and then front row experiences are close, and then which we had a couple because we would be that 10th caller that you said was impossible, win tickets, get the front row, and watch Stevie Ray Vaughan from 6 feet away at the state fair and go, wow, I don't even know if I like Stevie Ray Vaughan, but now I love Stevie Ray Vaughan. So front row experiences matter. You guys can attest. You're barricade people.
Definitely. I don't have a better answer than
agree.
that. I think that's a great answer. Okay. From our swim and dive manager, Lainey, have you heard my karaoke rendition of Not Like Us by Kendrick Lamar?
I have not.
Okay.
But I would like to.
Okay, I could do that sometime, maybe off the air. And I spun that question to expand it. If you had to pick a karaoke song, life or death, like do one right now, what would it be?
Oh, I just do Sweet Caroline because it's low register and I know the words, and so does everyone else. So you get the sing along that you desperately need if you sing like trash. So, yeah.
Richie, life or death karaoke song? Do you have one?
Well, I think my go-to is probably Kryptonite by Three Doors Down, mostly for those same reasons. Like it's yeah.
Good answer.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
R.I.P. Brian Arnold. I don't know if we talked about it on the
sing
show or
that?
not, but
That's hard to sing. All right. Sometime off air, I'd like to hear that. Sort of.
We'll take Rob to a karaoke bar next time we're all in the same state.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe you'll be able to hear it on our super duper extreme OHOBC live stream karaoke extravaganza because we're gonna try.
Nominate that segment for the 100th.
Good segue.
All right, got anything else? And then we can let your dad go. He's been yapping with us for almost 40 minutes.
I have two lighter questions from fellow Arizona hockey player Taz. Taz says, "What was your favorite part about being a goalie dad?"
I love Taz. All the Tazes, all the kids was my favorite part, and usually the parents, but always those kids because they're hilarious. The Taz is a great example of just a funny, smart kid who was also pretty good at hockey. So yeah,
Taz he's a big musician now too. He plays guitar. He can shred it.
Figures. He's super talented. Yeah.
And then one more. This comes from my mom that says, "How do you feel?" My mom, your wife. How do you feel about Nala sleeping on your pillow while you're gone?
I'm not a fan. It's not. It's not funny. Knock that off. Get down. Not funny.
And for the record, I think the rest of us think it's really pretty funny, but
Picky, you're like hair in mouth. What is that?
you get a dog hair in your mouth at 2 a.m. You're like, this is not funny anymore.
Not funny.
Yeah. All right, that's all the questions we have for you. Unless Richie has one. I didn't pull your submission.
No, because I was busy adulting and had to call a pharmacy to set up my prescription. So I
Brutal.
yeah. So I forgot to submit my questions.
Well, that's what we got for you. Thanks for joining us as a hostage.
Thank you for having me. I'll listen to the other segments.
Okay. If you have anything to contribute, just yell.
Yeah, if you do hacks, I'm a viewer.
We're gonna do hacks.
Okay.
We'll try not to spoil the third episode though, because you're not there yet.
I won't spoil. I haven't watched it. I can't spoil it.
No, we're saying we won't spoil it for you.
Oh, catching up. Okay, clear.
Roger. All right. There we go. Thank you to special guest star, my dad.
Thank you, Rob. Good to see you.
Thanks,
we'll
everybody.
see you soon.
Yep. All right, let's crack it. What do we got? Tracks of the week? Should we?
Tracks of the week. Ooh, that's a good question. Do I have anything this week? Let's see if I add anything or if I just been listening. I think I've just been listening to Noah mostly.
I agree. I agree with that.
I did add this one song, but I've only listened to it one time, so I don't know much about it. So I'll just, yeah.
Must have been good on the first listen.
I liked it. It's from 2021. It came up on a random playlist, but I'll probably listen to it again before I mention on the show. Make sure I actually do like it.
Just in case. Okay.
Yeah.
We can save it for next week.
Yeah, I've just been listening to Noah, but I will say, I've been accidentally put on the non-explicit version into my Apple library.
No.
And so I was like, why does this sound different? Like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, very jarring. We didn't let Noah Khan swear. Yeah. This is the version he's allowed to play. Okay. Yeah. I have the same list you have, plus the new single Big Money from our friends Friday Pilots Club. It's good stuff. Good new single. They're back. The boys are back. We're so back. It's a good sound. I really like it. It's a little different for them, but I always like a sick riff and like some good bass.
Yeah.
We were fed well in that regard.
Yeah. I hope they go back on tour soon so I can go check them out live.
Yeah, me too. And if they're listening to this, please come to the Indianapolis area like you usually do, or I guess I can go to Chicago again. I guess. That's like hometown show for most of them, so one of those two things will get hit.
Right.
I hope. All right. What else?
Let's see. We can move on to let's do a quick hacks recap. Let's do it. You watched the rest of it today, so you have it fresh in mind. So I'll let you lead this discussion. I watched it on Thursday.
There was a lot of discourse on the internet about this because people were saying that Deborah's character felt very out of character this episode. I'm not so sure I shared that same sentiment after just finishing the episode. I thought the pacing of this was very Hacks. They've settled into the right pace, I think, as the season's kind of gone on. The first episode felt a little rushed, a little busy, a little energetic, and like that's not to say that there wasn't a lot happening in this episode, but it just felt more true to the best parts of the show where it's just sort of like throwing you punch after punch and expecting you to keep up. And I think Hacks is at its best when it does some of that. The guest stars have all been really good this season. We got what's his name? Chris Briney playing the
Yeah.
pop star Nico, and he was Aaron Samuels in the live action Mean Girls recently, but he was also in The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I didn't watch because that doesn't sound like something I would enjoy. And to be completely honest with you, and he's good. He's good in his role. It's very obviously meant to be like Harry Styles, right? In the same way that
Yeah.
like, did you ever watch The Idea of You with Anne Hathaway?
I don't think so.
It's very much the same way where it just feels like that person was intended to be Harry Styles without calling them Harry Styles. Or in the same way, just some pseudo, former boy band pop star. But like they keep giving them all like the same like haircut and patchwork tattoos, and like Harry Styles has that song Watermelon Sugar, and this fictional character has one called Summer Squash, and I'm like, that feels a little too copyright infringement
I
for
missed
me,
that
but
joke. That's funny.
yeah. So I don't know. That was a fun little plot. The FBI showed up randomly, which is that was a very Hacks thing to do, is like just set you this whole side plot and then be like, surprise, it's the FBI. You're like, okay. Yeah, good stuff. I'm interested to see where it goes. I like that we're including more of the original trio and sort of the original supporting cast with Marcus and Damien and Josefina like every episode, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're doing with DJ's character behind the scenes. There was no or little Jimmy and Kayla and Randy this episode.
That bummed me out about this episode.
Yeah, it was very much focused on the main circle, which like is fine. You need a certain amount of that to avoid doing too many side plots. But I liked it. I'm disappointed that the season is like almost halfway over.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched I haven't rewatched it. I watched it the one time. I watched it live on Thursday, like while the NFL draft was happening. So maybe that was like part of my problem. I don't know. Maybe it will get better on a rewatch, but for me, it didn't feel like a normal episode of Hacks. Like having gone back and watched all previous 4 seasons, it just felt off to me, and I don't really know why that is. And the only thing I can point to is like you said, you liked the Nico character. I didn't like him. I didn't like Ava's weird like
Ava's weird magician hookup. Yeah.
yeah, I didn't like him either. Like he was just
No,
there for
I like them
he was just there for a couple
insofar as it
jokes.
serves the plot. Yeah,
He-
I'm not expecting them to be main characters the rest of the season.
And so that was like they were just like throwaway jokes, and like that's just not what Hacks does. I feel like they don't normally do that with a lot of their characters, where like the best version of that is in terms of bringing in a new character that only lasts for a couple episodes is, do you remember Weed from season 2, the tour manager? Great character.
Yes.
Just so
Yeah.
so ridiculous, and she comes in for a couple episodes and is funny and weird, and like she has her quirks, and then they get rid of her, and I thought she was a great character.
In some sense, they kind of did that with Dance Mom too, and they're
Yeah,
kind
Dance
of
Mom,
doing it
another
with
great
Mayor
one, yeah.
Joe. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did get some Mayor Joe this episode. That was
Mayor
exciting.
yes. Yeah, so I didn't like the two new characters in this episode. They were the weakest parts to me. The two best parts, Lucia Anello showing up as like the
Like the
as
realtor. Yeah.
yeah, she was so funny. So funny. in that little part that she did. She was great. And then Mayor Joe's appearance was also incredible. Every time Mayor Joe shows up, I'm all in because she's so funny. she's
Hmm.
just
Yeah, she just has the right timing. She's just
just
nailing
gets
it.
funny. Just gets funnier and funnier the more and more she shows up.
Here, Deb, take my gun. Try and hit that street light.
So good. Yeah. So not my favorite episode. I feel like more people are on TV, which they liked it more. Its IMDb rating is still 8.2, so a lot of people liked it more so than not. But yeah, just a little bit of a miss for me, but can all be bangers, I guess.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I felt that way a lot about the first half of last season, just from a standpoint where it felt like the feud between Ava and Deborah was dragging on a little bit long, and like we
Yeah.
weren't really making any progress on things. And I wasn't attached to it for that reason. And I feel like the first couple of episodes of this season, as a whole, have maybe struggled with too fast pacing. Like there's an in between here to be found, but with it being the final season, I'm hopeful that we'll find it and just not feel like everything's all rushed through and sort of an imperfect ending.
Yeah. Yeah. We got 7 episodes left, which is crazy.
And
Basically
a couple
about
of those
month.
weeks are 2 episode drops, so it's short.
Yeah. Yeah, we basically have like a month left to go. Let's see.
Crazy.
Let's see. When is our first double episode drop? Is that
Might be this week.
okay? It is this week. Yeah, we get 4 and 5. Yeah,
Dangerous.
so we
All
get
right.
double episode week this week, including the Amazing Race episode, which
Oh.
you and I have been looking forward to.
It's gonna be so good. Watch him only spend like 5 minutes on the Amazing Race portion, and you and I are gonna have been freaking out about it for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
They did
Oh,
not
we
do
should've-
that for us.
We should have asked your dad while he was here if he thinks that you and I would be great Amazing Race contestants.
I can ask him. Dad, you think Richie and I would be good on the Amazing Race? He's thinking about it.
Yeah.
He says yes.
Yeah,
Yes!
I think so. I don't know if you would win, but you would be competitive. Yeah.
Okay. He said he doesn't know if we'll win, but we would be competitive.
I'll take that as a W. I'll take that as a W.
Yeah, we'll take that.
We'll take that. Okay, yeah. So it's a double episode this week, 4 and 5, and then it's another double episode on the 7th, 6 and 7. 6, 7.
Hate that. Hate that. That's the clip this week. Yep. Work done.
And then, and yeah, okay. And those are the 2 double episodes, and then we wind up finally on the 28th of May, and then that's the
Crazy.
end.
Crazy.
Yep. All right, there you go. That's your hacks recap for the week.
Yeah, nice and tidy. No spoilers. Mostly.
Yeah. There wasn't much to spoil this week, really.
No.
Yeah.
No, and if we did, you'll see it when you watch it anyway. You won't be
Yeah.
too disappointed.
It was more of like this one was more, like I said, more of a comedy episode than like a story building episode. All right. Last thing. Well, I have some movies to talk about real quick.
Yeah, do it.
I'll talk about one movie because you and I were both interested in it. Which I saw Mother Mary on Thursday night, and believe it or not, the audience was packed. Like, there was a decent amount of people there. I was surprised to go see Mother Mary when it opened. And I was surprised by this movie because the marketing doesn't really tell you what the movie actually is. And what the movie actually is so much more interesting than what the marketing tells you. And I walked out of that theater and I was like, it was one of those movies that you watch and you're just like so enamored with that you can't, because you're trying to like figure out, there's so much like allegory and so much like under the surface of what they're actually showing you. It's so fascinating. It's a fascinating movie to watch, and it's visually awesome. And the 2 lead performances, Anne Hathaway, obviously great as always, but let me make sure I get the co-lead in this movie, who is a co-lead. She plays the okay. Here we go. Oh,
Ayla
cast.
Cole.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Michaela
I don't
Cole.
know if I'm. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but yes.
Yeah, yes. She's the co-lead in this movie. She basically plays the costume designer for Mary in the movie, and she is the co-lead of this movie, and she's also awesome. And yeah, I really like this movie a lot, and I hope everybody goes sees it and checks it out. And yeah, oh, what was my review? I gave it 4 stars.
I was
I
really
said,
excited to hear that from you. I was like, let's go. That's such good news.
well, yeah, what did I say? Oh, here we go. I said, yeah, 2 incredible performances, a story that demands you to be engaged with it and put your thinking cap on with some really entrancing imagery. There we go.
Okay, thesaurus.
That's a big boy review there for me. Usually,
Yeah, that's a big word. Wow. No,
freaking
that's
child.
what I've
Oh,
been
look at
that's
you,
what I've
big.
been seeing. That's what I've been seeing widely is people are really liking it. As long as you're not, you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like as long as people weren't going into it expecting it to be a flat out horror movie, people are enjoying it. But if you go in expecting it to be like in your face, very like jump scare or like blood and gore or whatever, if you go
Mm-hmm.
in with the mindset of it being more psychological, people
Yeah.
are really seeming to enjoy that part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's on my
Yes,
list
indeed.
for sure. It's on my
Yeah,
list.
and it's
Things got
not.
a
And
little
yeah,
complicated this week,
yeah.
but
And it's not. It is not a. There's not a lot of scenes like I was kind of expecting, where a lot of it takes place where you see her performing either. There's very few scenes about that, which really surprised me. But that's part of the allure of the movie to me, is that it upends your expectations of what you think it's going to be. So yeah, highly recommend. Go check it out.
I think you sent
Go.
me to you sent me on Twitter. It was like every line spoken by a man in Mother Mary, and the total length of the video was like 39 seconds. It's like
Uh,
nice.
yeah, 0,
Right.
none.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Bechdel test passed.
Alba Baptista does show up in the movie.
Okay.
You know what's funny is, like, when she shows up, I was like, she has a very small part, because for the most part this movie is just the 2 lead characters.
Right.
But when she shows up, I was like, I first of all, I was so entranced with the movie that I forgot that Alba was in the movie altogether. So I forgot expecting her to show up. But when she did show up, I was like, damn it, why can't I
Know this
remember who that
person.
is? Yeah, I was like, oh shit, that's who that is.
Yup.
Damn it. Yeah. So
Surprise.
you'll see her in the movie as well. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Go check it out.
Good. It is it's Devil Wears Prada 2 week for all who celebrate. We're
Yep.
very excited.
I
So
will
go see
I will
that.
be there. Yeah, I will be there on
Seated.
Thursday. I told you this before, that my Devil Wears Prada 2 showing, I believe, is before. I'm gonna double check this. It is Thursday at 3:30 p.m. So the movie, I believe, is about 2 hours, maybe less. So that should allow me to get back in time for the Hacks double.
It's gonna be a crazy night. Yeah. You're like, I'm sorry, my schedule's booked. I have Devil Wears Prada at 3:30 and then 2 episodes of Hacks.
Yeah, it's like that
I'll be
scene in the
unreachable.
It's the scene in the Grinch.
Yep. 5 o'clock, solve world hunger, tell no one.
So
My
yeah,
dad
I'm
and I
excited
love
for-
that. My dad and I love
Yeah.
that part. I think we try to quote that like every year, just word for word.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, it's in the Dolby, so I should be getting my sunglasses. And I was also told that AMC has this special, like, Devil Wears Prada 2 Diet Coke flavoring of some sort. I don't know what the flavor
Oh.
is, but yeah.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna dabble in that as well, and then maybe I'll get the popcorn in the handbag.
Please send me a picture of you with the handbag. Please. I need it for research purposes.
Research purposes. Dude, I think that thing's like $50, man. or something.
Yeah, devilish lime cherry chic. It is lime and cherry Diet Coke.
That sounds delicious.
That does actually sound good. Available only at Coca-Cola Freestyle machines and AMC locations. And it
So I
seems
will
like
be
you might be able to like get it in a bottle or a can there too, but like only at theaters.
yeah. There you go. So that's the perfect. So I'll have that, watch the movie, refill it with some Diet Coke from the fountain, just like Deborah likes, and then sit down and watch some Hacks.
Should be great.
It's a great night.
It's exactly what she would want. Yeah.
So that's what's coming up this week. Okay. What else? Do I have any other movies to mention? I did go see the Michael Jackson movie. We can move on. That's all I need to say about that.
Okay.
It's like, yeah.
It's a biopic.
It's a biopic.
Yeah.
And they're all the music. I will say this: all the musical biopics need to go. Like they're all the same. Just watch the music videos instead.
No,
The only
that's
one-
fair. I
the only
don't love the
difference
ones
was,
that
like-
spend a lot of time like just recreating the music video like inside the film. You're like,
Yeah.
but I know about this already.
Yeah.
I signed up to watch this movie to find out things I don't know.
Yeah, at least Baz Luhrmann, what he did with Elvis was like interesting because Baz Luhrmann is actually like an interesting filmmaker.
That's one word for it. Yeah.
And so like what he
When
did
he
with
started
Elvis-
like the first 5 minutes of that movie and the whole thing is just like spinning. And I'm like, I'm gonna get motion sickness, Boz. Don't do this to me. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like a trip to like start the movie. I'm like, oh, this is how we're gonna go. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that. All right. Last thing to wind up the show here. I wrote in the doc, can I complain about Ty Simpson? And he said yes.
Go ahead.
So yeah. Okay. Let's see how quickly I can do this. All right. Start the timer for an hour on the clock right now. Okay.
Okay.
So as this was going down, I watched Hacks, and their draft was like moving like crazy. So like they were like buzzing through these picks like super super quick because they only had 8 minutes on the clock this year. So like they were moving, and so like I stopped watching the TV broadcast because they were so far behind. They were like 2 and 3 picks behind what people were getting on the online, and so I just stopped watching the TV broadcast at that point. I was like, I don't need to watch this, and so I was following along on my phone, and then I start to see the rumors that the Rams at 13th overall were about to draft Ty Simpson, and I was like, thought I was fake. I was like, am I being trolled right now? What is going on? What is happening? Is this real? And it turns out it was real, and it came out of freaking nowhere. And at the time, I hated it, and even now, I still don't like it. It was such a weird choice, man. Like you and I, and your dad was there in person, so he was able to sit there and watch how awful Ty Simpson was in the Rose Bowl against a defense, against a college defense, which, granted, as good as they are, is not your NFL defense, right? Mm-hmm. And you watch Ty Simpson and you go in that game, and that's my only impression of Ty Simpson as a college quarterback is just watching that game in the Rose Bowl. Massive stakes, playoff, championship implications. And all Ty Simpson does is shit the bed for the entire 4 quarters. And then he gets yanked because I think he got hurt at some point in time too.
Yeah, I think he like broke a rib.
Yeah. And so after that, I was like, this guy is not going to cut it in the NFL, man. I'm sorry. Like, especially compared to Fernando Mendoza, who anytime I watch him, I was like, that guy looks like an NFL quarterback anytime I watch him. And granted, he's going to the Las Vegas Raiders, which is a whole different story, but we'll save that for later. So I don't understand it. It's strange to me that, granted, I don't know, maybe he'll be good 2 years from now when he's 27 and a starting quarterback in the NFL, because Matthew Stafford is the Aaron Rodgers of the NFL now, and he just won't ever retire, because I could 100% seeing that happen.
He's gonna get good mentorship from Stafford in that quarterback room. But he's also probably sitting behind Stetson Bennett.
Yeah, he's not going to... That's the thing. He's
like,
not going
not
to
only is
play.
he not the backup, he's not going to play at all. He's going to be
Yeah.
on the sidelines with a clipboard and a headset being
Yeah.
like, yes, coach, no coach, going over the
Yeah.
iPad footage.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I just, there's something to be said for taking a young quarterback and rushing them into a situation like that where it's bad
Yeah.
for them because they don't
Mm-hmm.
get the time to
JJ
fully
McCarthy,
develop.
I think, is a perfect example of that.
Sure, or we saw that a little
Baker
bit with like
Mayfield,
Caleb Williams
Caleb
early
Williams,
on.
mm-hmm.
You'll see guys get rushed
Sam
into a
Darnold.
situation, yeah, that don't perform well right away. But there's also something to be said for guys that get stuck back there, that it just isn't good for them either to do too
Mm-hmm.
much. It's like they kind of get overcooked waiting for their turn,
Yeah.
and they when they get it, it's hit or miss.
Yeah. They put up a stat during the broadcast. I don't have it with me, but like he has like among first round draft picks, he's one of the five highest, or he's one of the five quarterbacks with the least amount of college starts to be drafted in the first round. I was like, oh boy.
Crazy.
Uh,
I mean, among
but
those is
anyway,
probably Anthony Richardson, right?
I think
Like,
so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But yeah, so my big problem with it is that how often do you have a Super Bowl contender? The Rams were, again, for the second year in a row, 2 plays away from making it to the Super Bowl, at least, if not winning the Super Bowl, because I think in back-to-back years, because they lost to the Eagles the year prior in the divisional round on 1 play at the end of the game. They were in the red zone and couldn't score the touchdown. And I think they would have gone on to beat Washington, and they, who knows, would have put on a great game against a banged up old Kansas City Chiefs game in the Super Bowl. And same thing here, like they would have smoked the Patriots. Like it wouldn't have been a contest. And so like you're there, man. And granted, they did fill in the offseason, they did take advantage of their other draft pick late in the first round and traded it to go get a starting cornerback from the Chiefs. So they did fix their one hole that they had, was they had nobody that they can count on in the secondary. I think that's what ended up really costing them against the Seattle Seahawks. So one could say they're like, okay, well they used that draft pick and now they to solidify what was their big hole from last season, which was their secondary, which is great. But if you get that extra pick inside the top 15, I think they should have used it to feed their riches basically and go get somebody who can come into the lineup and help them win in case one of your big stars on your offense goes down and gets hurt. And they didn't do that. And that's what made me so mad. I was like, there were so many players out there, particularly wide receivers, mostly who was I'm thinking of, that they could have drafted and brought in, and they wouldn't have been expected to start, so they would have been put in a good position to get reps still, and in the first half of the season, and just be there in case somebody else, in case Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua get hurt, like happened last year, and then they are able to step into that role. And they didn't do that. I think that's the frustrating part. Is like, so now you're like you have a house of cards roster on your offense now, where if some Puka or Devontae go down or they don't perform up to expectations, then you kind of have a little bit of an issue, and then it's up to Sean McVay to fix that. And he did a great job fixing it last year when he moved to that 3 tight end set. And they drafted another tight end this year. So
right, I'm like, how many personnel do you really need?
you know what I want them to break out? Let's break out
All the tight
15
ends.
personnel. All tight ends. Come on.
All tight ends.
No,
Sure.
no running backs needed.
Sure. I'm like, no, just let somebody else throw the ball. Just make them all tight ends. It'll be fine.
Anyway, that's my rant. The funny thing is that despite all the crap they've been getting from like everybody across the media landscape and be like, oh, Sean McVay, he never actually met Sean McVay, which he did. He did meet Sean McVay. They just kept it a secret and just didn't tell anybody. Actually, funny story about that. Les Snead was on the Pat McAfee show today, and I watched that interview, and Les was like, actually, me, Sean, and Ty all met together for multiple hours. And the reason why Ty, in his original interview, like his post-draft interview, said that he had never met Sean McVay is because that was the company line that he was told to toe for so many months that he was never given the green light to come out and say, oh yeah, Sean and I met for hours, and so that's why.
Right. It was like his NDA, and he's like, "Am I allowed to say this now that
Yeah.
I got drafted?" Or yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So
You know what I did hear is that Jeremiah Love from the Cardinals, they tried to call him and tell him that they were going to draft him, and they had the wrong number for him, so they like couldn't get a hold of Jeremiah Love. So the kid probably saw his name come up on the screen and was like, "Wait, what? Me? I'm drafted? Okay." Now, I don't know how much truth there is in that, but that was what was in the newspaper back home, was like there was a wrong number for the Cardinals draft
newspaper?
pick, and so they couldn't call
What are
him. I
the?
know,
What's a
my
newspaper?
family still gets the newspaper. I play the crossword in it. Yeah. So in case you wondered what my Sunday morning is like, there it is.
The New York Times crossword. All right, there we go. That's today's episode from an undisclosed location.
Sure.
Oh,
I'm gonna be here for an indeterminate amount of time too at the undisclosed location. So we'll see.
yeah. There was a video I wanted to play, but I don't have it ready.
Oh, what is it?
But you've probably seen it at this point, and if you haven't, I can send it to you real quick. But it actually is Bloomington based. So the Little 500 was this weekend. This past weekend in Bloomington. Did you see the last lap of the Little 500?
The last lap of the men's race. Yes,
Yeah.
it's all over the internet. This strategy
video I've
has
ever seen.
happened before, and also resulted in the team that was leading at 199 of 200 laps losing. I don't know. As far as I'm aware, you can change riders as many times as you want and make your own strategy, and teams are free to do such a thing. Why on earth? And I don't know anything about bike racing, but why on earth, with that big of a lead over the rest of the field, while you're actively lapping people on the last lap, you decide to change, and then your second rider comes in and he's got no speed, and the field is just towing him down. And yeah, there was a huge crash that took out all the leaders. There was a huge crash at the start of the women's race last year, but there was a huge crash at the men's race this year that resulted in a bunch of like non-traditional teams kind of making the podium, which is fun, like good for the sport, I guess, to not have the same teams win every year, but absolutely brutal in the way that it happened. And yeah, it's all over the internet. I'm like, people that have no business knowing about Little Five are like being strategists and crew chief for what should have happened there at the end of that race, and it was a disaster.
We talked about on Speed Freaks this week because it was such a good video. Incredible stuff.
Boy.
All right, well there you go. That's the episode.
We didn't do too bad on time, actually. I thought we were going to go farther over.
Hour 8 minutes. That's not bad at all.
Nope.
All right. Well, thanks to your dad for joining us on today's show. We've now had both of your parents on the show, so thanks to both of them for hopping on the show across 111 episodes, or however far we've been doing this now.
Sure.
Our document still says episode 108, which I don't think is right.
Oh no, I haven't changed that in a while. I think this is 110.
110.
I think this is 110.
Stay tuned for our 100th episode celebratory live stream extravaganza at some point this summer.
Yeah, we'll see. We will keep you posted as things are moving this week on my apartment. If I can get back in this weekend, we are so on. And if we can't get back in this weekend, we'll find a day. We'll make it happen. It just might not be right now. It's a matter of what they find in the internals with the fire inspection. But my PlayStation didn't get fried, so the operating hardware is intact. It's just a matter of whether I would have to squat in my apartment for 12 hours, or if I could legally be there. But we'll find a way to make it work. So.
Yeah, we're gonna make it work. So stay tuned for that, everybody. Follow us on the Twitch to make that happen. All right, everybody. I think that's all we have. Thank you for hanging out with us again, and we will talk to you again soon.
And thank your local fire department.
Goodbye.